Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tashana. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are not, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for coming. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about perfectionism or being a perfectionist and just how it can negatively affect your life.
You know it's top everything, you know it's king already, you know it's my body, soul got a king body. Body gon' shine, bling bling body. Calling all the shots, ring body.
There's a difference between taking pride in your work and doing things properly versus you need everything to be perfect, and if it's not perfect it's not going to work kind of mentality. So I would say it's a negative trait, to be honest, and once you realize that you have this trait, I would say you need to figure out how to strike a balance, because in everything there has to be some moderation, there has to be balance. I'm going to give you 6 ways how it can negatively impact your life, just in case you're still on the side of, oh well, I'm a perfectionist and everything perfect, I want everything to be perfect, blah blah. I'm just going to show you how it can negatively impact your life, and once you're aware some of the changes with each of them, some of the changes that you can make just to not be that extreme. So first one, you are extremely hard on yourself. You want everything to be perfect. Nobody is perfect, so every time you miss the mark you get super annoyed with yourself, you get a little bit overwhelmed. And for me, in the past, because I was extremely hard on myself, criticism, whether constructive or not, I didn't want to hear anything from anybody else, because for me, I'm extremely hard on myself already, so it's just like I don't need to hear it from you too. But nobody knows that that's going on with you internally, so they're just coming to be like, oh well, fix this, or you could fix that, or maybe you could have done this a little bit better. People are creatures of habit. Once you get to a certain age, you usually continue with bad traits, even though you know that that's not where you want to be and that's not what you want to be doing. You still have the traits lingering on, so continuous becoming. So it's never, oh, I'm perfect and it's gone. And that's something before, with me being a perfectionist, I would never get. Like, I would be so hard on myself, like, get it together. I have my foot on my own neck every single day, and it is extremely overwhelming, and it just doesn't benefit you in the long run, because if you're constantly hard on yourself, when do you get time to relax? When do you get time to breathe? When do you get time to just be, you know? And as human beings, none of us are perfect. We strive for perfection, but we're not perfect, and it's important to know that. Like before, I would think, oh, there is such a thing as being perfect and doing it all and being the best version of yourself. Like, there's a difference between being the best version of yourself and thinking that you need to be perfect. And so yeah, you're extremely hard on yourself, and spews over onto you dealing with other people bad, because when they try to give advice or whatever, the other thing is I don't like unsolicited advice. So there's a border in everything. You might hear me go back and forth a little bit with everything, because like I said, in everything there is moderation and balance. So unsolicited advice I still do not like, hate it. If I didn't ask you, do not tell me still. But there are people that are genuinely trying to give you constructive criticism and trying to want the best for you. And if you're always hard on yourself, sometimes I find that I used to in the past be like, I don't want to hear anything from you because I already have this, my own foot on my neck, so I don't want to hear anything from you kind of mentality. And it's not good, because some people, like I said, genuinely want the best for you. Number 2, procrastination. This is a big one. Okay, so because you always want everything to be perfect and you're always waiting for the perfect time, You're waiting for the perfect people to come along. You're waiting for the perfect opportunity. You're waiting until you are perfectly ready. You find that you put off things that you need to do a lot. You find that you are like, okay, I'm going to do it tomorrow because tomorrow the weather is going to be better. Tomorrow I'm going to have this thing ready, or tomorrow I'm going to have the perfect outfit, or tomorrow this, or tomorrow that. Okay, and then tomorrow becomes the next day, and then the next day becomes the next day. So you find yourself procrastinating a lot. Okay, so with that being said, you waste a lot of time, and there are things that you could have gotten done now that you don't get done now because you're waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect anything. You make your moments however you want to make your moments. You decide with your mind what is the perfect time, what is the perfect place, what is the perfect anything. Your mind will decide that. The other thing is, even if it's not perfect, you can still get it done now. Number 3, nobody is good enough. Everybody have to be perfect. So back in the day, nobody was perfect. So the least little thing you do, and in everything, like I said, you have to think about it. There are exceptions to everything, but for the most part, nobody was perfect. So the least little thing people do, I don't give them second chance. You get cut off. The moment you do me something, cutting you off, because everything must be perfect and my life must be perfect and every aspect of my life must be perfect. They don't have any patience for people, and that's not a good trait to have. That's not a good trait to have. And I'm not 100% there with this one yet either. I'm still not 100% there with this one, because there needs to be some level of grace that you show to people, and I don't think I'm there yet 100%. But yeah, nobody is good enough, and this also includes yourself. So because you fall short of certain marks that you make, there's a lot of self-doubt that comes in, and there's a lot of just doubting yourself. The last time I didn't reach the mark that I wanted to reach, and the moment something goes wrong, you're just like, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to be doing it anymore. Okay, number 4, there is a lot of anxiety and a lot of chaos. So it's such an irony, because you want everything to be perfect, and you would think, okay, you're striving for such perfectionism that you would think, okay, well, you're gonna just fall short of perfect by an inch because you're striving for perfection, right? But that's not how it works. So because you always want everything to be perfect and nothing is perfect, we live in an imperfect world with imperfect people, you find that there's a lot of anxiety and also a lot of disappointment. A lot of disappointment because you're always going to fall short, and people around you are always going to fall short. So you find yourself in situations where you're always disappointed. You're always disappointed, and with the disappointment comes a lot of anxiety. And then because you're disappointed, you feel like your world is in chaos. So there's a lot of chaos going on inside your head. You're just like, why can't this go right? Why is everything going wrong? When everything is not going wrong, you can be perfectly going in the right direction, but there's a lot of speed bumps along the way. And because you don't anticipate the speed bumps and you want everything to be perfect, you're just like, oh my god, the world is out of control and it's going wrong. The whole world is up in flames. And that's not what's happening. The reality is you're on the right path, but there are obstacles, there are speed bumps, people fall short, you fall short, and that's just life. And you just have to learn that that's just life. Talking to myself here too. Don't want anybody to feel like I'm preaching. But yeah, these are just ways how being a perfectionist can negatively impact your life. And like I said, it's a journey, and you're constantly learning and constantly becoming, and you just have to keep on keeping on. Okay, so if there's anybody else out there that has this trait and you're looking how to overcome it, we're on this journey together, and the only thing that you can do is understand that life itself is not perfect. You are not perfect, and nobody else around you is perfect. Okay, and in knowing that, still learn to strike a balance. There's a difference between nobody's perfect and people making mistakes versus people definitely being assholes. So even though I say that, still know what you know, and keep yourself on guard and make sure that you don't have anybody walking over you. And number 5, you are always in your own head. Okay, so you're always thinking, how can I make this better? How can I make my life better? How can I do this better? Trying to always be perfect so you don't live in the moment. You're not living in the moment, and you could be having the most perfect moment right in front of you, and you're always trying to make something better or think about something else. Because of that, you're not enjoying the moment. How I combat this is spending time in nature, spending time self-reflecting, spending time meditating, and trying to stay still. Just trying to be still, listen, let my thoughts happen, let my feelings happen, and just let them pass through my body so I can be in the moment right now, so I can appreciate what's happening right now. Okay, so yeah, you just have to work on yourself and work on being better. You can overcome anything. And the reason why it took so long, I feel like, to overcome it is because I always thought it was a good thing. So growing up, I would have my drawers separated. I needed to have pants in one drawer, dresses in one drawer, shorts in one drawer, shirts in one drawer. Everything needed to be in specific places, and everything needed to be perfect. So people would always give me compliments like, you're so organized and you're so neat and all of that. I was more focused on what it looked like. It looked like it was going good, but internally all the negativities are happening internally. So you still get the stuff done even though you procrastinated. You still got everything done. Everything still looks perfect, but internally, if something goes wrong, you're just like, oh my god, I'm out of control, this is not happening right, I didn't get this right, or and that's a lot to put on yourself, and that's a lot to go through pretty much almost every day, because with perfectionism too, you're always wanting the next thing, you're always going on to the next thing, you're constantly moving. There's never a time when you just stop and relax and be like, okay, well, I've achieved a lot, I've been doing a lot, I have accomplished a lot, and I'm proud of myself. You've never stopped to really say, okay, well, I'm proud of myself, and let's just let this go and let's just relax and be in the moment. The moment something happens, and I think this is based on me being a Capricorn too, I feel like the moment I accomplish something, it's just like on to the next, constantly moving. And even with quarantine, it helped too. I know a lot of people have been going through all sorts of turmoil, and I sympathize with you. And with everybody, different things affect differently. There are negative aspects and everything, but for me, I feel like with being forced to be still and stopping and not being able to do certain things, you had to spend the time reflecting and spend the time just being in the moment more. And I would say for people that are perfectionists and they don't get, or they don't know that they should stop, I would say just be mindful that you need to stop and be still and just take the time to be in the moment, and just take the time to stop and relax and think about all the things that you've overcome, all the things that you've accomplished, and just learn to be more appreciative. And also have a gratitude journal, or just like say what you're thankful for every morning so you can be in the moment. That helps to be in the moment more. Touch on it a little bit in number 5, but it's not giving yourself enough praise and Like I said, if you're always going, always wondering what's the next thing, what can I do next, all of that, when do you spend the time to pat yourself on the back and say, nice job or good job? You don't do a lot of that, you know, that can negatively affect your mood, affect your life. Okay, so that is 6 ways how being a perfectionist can negatively affect your life. That's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.